Thank you. Please be seated. Prefect joke of the day is, what does the man on the moon do when his hair gets too long? He clips it.
That was a bit of a weak, warm, sort of lukewarm response. Thomas did a good job there. Yeah, well done, Thomas. You sat up all night preparing that. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a cold morning out there, but it's not raining. This morning we're going to focus a little bit on recognition because lots of things go on at Shawnigan, as you know, a multitude of activities, and we can't possibly manage to recognize them publicly all the time, all the way through the year. So at times we need to pause and reflect with some degree of pride and satisfaction on the number of things that we accomplish here and the number of things we accomplish incredibly well. So that's the plan this morning. I'm going to start off with the ISABC squash results from last weekend. Now, the ISABC, for you, if you haven't picked up on it, is a collection of about 27, I think they are now, 27 schools, independent schools in British Columbia, and among them some of the best schools in the province, as you would expect. So we have competitions in all sorts of things in ISABC, and our squash teams, I'll ask them, the first two that I mentioned, to stand and receive your applause, while the third one I mentioned comes forward for a photo. So our girls came second in the ISABCs, our junior boys also came second, and I'll ask the senior boys who came first to come forward and receive our congratulations. Thank you. Did the girls stand? Did they stand? Girls squash team? Come on, girls squash team, stand up, and the junior boys stand up. Receive a round of applause for coming second. Thank you. Always maybe I should stop asking people to stand up, because I notice how people sort of half stand and half sit. They get in this crouch position and sit down as quickly as they can. Okay. Anyway, it's just from up here you see that. Also, winning ISABC champions for the first time, I think, unless somebody from the older brigade in the school is going to correct me, for the first time, our junior girls won the ISABC basketball. How good was that? ISABC champions. I'm going to ask that girls team to come up here for a photo with me, please. Junior girls basketball. Rugby team or a basketball team? One more step. There we go. Perfect.
Last one. Thank you.
Well done, girls. there we are. Focus on those highlights. Moving on to our Model UN. About 10 days ago, they had a big Model UN event in Vancouver, the Vancouver Model UN. Shout out to Cassia Nasrallah, who very successfully directed a group of about 150. Cassia, well done. Terrific. Stand up, please. Yeah. And I'm going to ask Zain Karmali to come up and receive this gavel that he won for Best Delegate at said conference. There's a little message on the side here. He was representing Pakistan, and it says, "Dear Pakistan, congratulations. Your oratory, persuasive, and leadership skills are amazing, and you definitely deserve the Best Delegate Award. I hope that you continue your Model UN career because you'll certainly do fantastically well. Good job, you, and best of luck for the future. Yours sincerely, Jude Chen." Zain, well done. So more recently, we had our Shawnigan House of Commons, and that was a great event and a really useful insight into the world of politics, which, like it or not, is going to play an important part in your lives, as you're seeing on a daily basis these days. In our Shawnigan House of Commons, the Speaker of the House did particularly excellent work, and Mr. Klassen has got this special tie with a mace on it, the mace that the Speaker holds in the House of Commons. And he's asked me to present this tie to Callum Sizens, who was a very successful speaker. So, Callum, come forward, wherever you are. Good job. So, again, I could go on. There are many other accomplishments, but I'm going to switch now to what I would consider the highlight of 2017 so far. And that is obviously, well, I think it'd be obviously, it's what was happening all of last week. And I say all of last week because it was virtually every night last week by the time you took into account the rehearsals and everything else. So just as a little preamble before I get the cast and crew and the directors and the production team, before I get them all up here, just as a little preamble, this is actually a team activity of the highest order. When you put on a musical or a show in general, you're calling upon the teamwork that is at the heart of Shawnigan Lake School. I mean, we expose you to lots of teams in lots of areas and in lots of ways. And at the heart of teamwork is working together to successfully achieve the common goal. That's as simple as that. But you can't produce something that requires timing, requires cues, requires playing off each other, requires repetition, to any high level if you're not totally committed to the team. And I think one of the things that came through so well in this outstanding musical that we've just been treated to was the commitment of everyone involved, cast and crew and production team, to producing something truly excellent. So those of us who were fortunate to watch it more than once just kept appreciating it more and more. I have 96,000 reasons. Yeah, I was listening. I've got 96,000 reasons that I could give you for why this was my highlight of 2017. But suffice to say, as I invite cast, directors, crew, production team up here, I'll ask the leads to stand along the front, perhaps. As I invite you up, in the heights, achieve the heights. So there you are. Thank you.
Good, just wait there for a second, guys. Just wait there for a second. Oh, I know they've heard so much from me already, but I'm just going to say, just to reinforce what Mr. Robertson said. So many people helped out with this, and not all of them are up here right now. Mrs. Robertson played a huge role in bringing things together as well. Brad, our music director, who's not here with us today, he had a huge role. Let's wave to him on live stream. Wave to him. Wave to Brad. Hi, Brad. Hi, Brad. Hi, Brad. And so many other helpers backstage, Miss Edson, Miss Agate, and the list goes on and on. Lots of parent helpers too. But these guys were stellar, and they all did something and challenged themselves to do something different. And so many new faces this year in musical. Hands up if you were not in musical last year. We wouldn't have had a show if these guys didn't step out and say, I'm going to do this year, and I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to do all I can. And they were there. We rehearsed Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the majority of the year, and then Sundays as well, right towards the end. And so it takes a heck of a lot of work, and moving a show from one location to another takes a heck of a lot of work as well. And so I thank these guys. I would choke up every single night. They got out there on stage and held their candles and sang Alabanza, and then at the very end when they all sang I'm Home. And it gets me now too. So for these guys, I'm home. Thanks.
Well done, Mr. McLeod. Thank you. Very appropriate. So just store those memories away and revisit them at different times in the future, as you do with all the best memories that you have. So we have another treat for you this Thursday evening. If you were around a few years ago, we had a little show in the Wilkinson Theatre by a musician. And I'm going to stop there because young Mr. Connolly is going to come and tell you a little bit more about it.
Hey, Mr. Young.
Mr. Connolly.
How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Hey, I want to play you something on my phone.
All right.
Look, it's so thin, it's almost like I don't have a phone.
That's pretty rockin', Mr. Connolly.
Yeah,
What is it?
Oh, that's Jack Semple.
Jack Semple.
Yeah, guess what, Nolan?
What?
Sorry, Mr. Young. Guess what? He's going to be playing here on Thursday night
Wow.
in the Hugh Wilkinson Theater at 7:15.
I'll be there.
Yeah, here, listen to this. Is that great?
That's rockin', Mr. Connolly.
Oh, look, it's the fourth wall. Let's break it. Read these, please.
At the Hugh Wilkinson Theater on Thursday at 7:15 p.m., Jack Semple will be playing for you all. Sign up is in-house, so please see your fine art directors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if you haven't seen Jack Semple before or heard him before, you want to see him, you want to hear him. He's a virtuoso guitarist, as you probably get a little snippet there, and he's also a songwriter and a singer. And I know from the last concert we had with him, students loved it. So we want to get some notion of how many people we've got, so that's what the sign-up is all about. Because obviously we're probably limited to around 300, 350, something like that. There we go. So again, congratulations to all those whom we recognize this morning. Keep up the good work, everyone. Thank you.